The basic idea of BLine emerged out of a number of different seeds that were planted throughout my previous careers. One of those was I was a land use and transportation planner for David Evans and Associates. Second one was I had the opportunity to live in Japan and then travel from Japan to Ireland by bicycle. Got to see a number of different forms and methods of delivery, not knowing that I would start a delivery company in the future. And then most recently, I was a sixth grade teacher teaching about community. These three kind of points came together to build a social entrepreneur idea into a company and look at what a social enterprise focusing on the last mile logistics would be, with the overarching mission of creating a more livable community. We were founded in 2009, and we focused on the last mile challenge, particularly within delivering goods within the dense urban core. And we are interested in what would it look like to replace the ubiquitous kind of white delivery van with a more sustainable, human-centric vehicle, while also maintaining a high level of service to our customers and clients, and in addition offering an outdoor advertising medium for another set of clients so we could extend kind of the overarching business model. So the primary business model is based on the last mile logistics, and that is simply how do we deliver business to business services with our tricycles. And that one, it's pretty simple. Product is either stored in our warehouse and we deliver into the urban core, or product is drop shipped and we deliver that product on a day-to-day basis into the urban core. We're always looking at mechanisms to keep our tricycles full. So some of those mechanisms are that we pick up from partners' warehouses or bakeries or roasteries, in the case of Portland Roasting Company or Grand Central Bakery. We utilize those facilities as micro hubs to pick up and deliver goods throughout the city. We exist to move goods throughout the city in a more sustainable fashion, and we utilize our central warehouse and other clients' warehouses to kind of constantly keep trikes in rotation and products moving. When those trikes are moving, then we have a secondary business model of outdoor advertising, because the trikes themselves are a unique vehicle for outdoor advertising. Think of them as a mobile billboard. We sell that advertising to not only our delivery clients, but also to clients outside of our direct delivery service. For example, we may deliver bread for Grand Central Bakery and advertise for Grand Central Bakery while we're delivering that bread. And on a different route, we may be delivering produce, but we're actually advertising for Beneficial State Bank or for Reach Now or for an insurance company or for a hospital. Coupled with those two models, then most recently we've added our warehousing and space-based model, and that warehousing is really meant to service the regional food economy, to give two sides of the supply chain access to the urban core. One side of that supply chain would be the growers and ranchers and fishermen and producers themselves, so that the regional bounty could have an area to come in to the central core, have storage, cold storage, and warehousing services provided without those independent companies having to hold their own warehousing buildings. Secondarily, essentially the same service is provided to what we would term value-added products, or CPG, or consumer packaged goods products, so that those emerging entrepreneurial companies also have a place to call home, have warehousing services, material handling services, and delivery services at their doorstep without necessarily having to take on their own facilities and their own management of that facility. So that is a key component of our business model now. And then of course we also have a co-working space in which it provides off-warehouse, off-site, or off-the-floor workspace for the ranchers and the fishermen, as well as the value-added producers. And that kind of is part of the community here at the Red on Salmon Street. So we spoke about the last mile logistics component, and critical to last mile logistics is utilizing your vehicles to the fullest extent that is possible. In transportation, you want to avoid what they would call deadheading, in which case you deliver out to a location, but you don't bring anything back. We've looked to prevent that by creating some very interesting, more service-minded models to the community. Primarily, we call it our B-shares or our B-cycles programs. Through our B-share model, we pick up produce that is no longer suitable for sale from retailers in the urban core, such as Whole Foods in the Pearl District, and we redistribute those products into places of need, such as Sisters of the Road Cafe or New Avenues of Youth. We figure that we're there, we can provide the service. It takes us roughly half an hour to 45 minutes. It provides door-to-door service for these institutions that are serving on the front line of homelessness and hunger. We rescue food, we redistribute it, and we keep our trikes on the road longer for more advertising hours. It is a fee for service that we do get we charge a nominal fee for, because we have to, of course, pay our riders as well, but it's an example of a very much of a win-win opportunity. Likewise, when our trike or truck is in the field and is empty, we look for opportunities to backhaul styrofoam from either retailers or professional office buildings so that that styrofoam doesn't go into the landfills. Rather it's brought back here, aggregated en masse, and then brought down to an organization called Agilix, and they process the styrofoam appropriately to the point where they can sell the additive back to the domestic plastic industry, therefore creating a closed-loop recycling system for one of the biggest landfill polluters of styrofoam. In looking at the trade-offs between profitability and sustainability, BLine is always looking for a win-win opportunity. That being said, there are some times that we are certainly moving forward with mission-driven decisions that the kind of bottom line is less clear. Even in the beginning of the company, when we're looking at the tricycles, the actual cost per stop, the utilization of those vehicles, the lifespan of a vehicle, these were all things that were new to us, and they were unclear because they're a very unique vehicle in the marketplace. So there was no study to go back to and see what would that be. So these are all things that over 10 years we are looking at and understanding kind of the value proposition. I would say that one of the biggest struggles overall between this balance between profitability and sustainability is when you look at our mission of creating a more resilient food economy and specifically working with value-added producers and ranchers and fishermen and growers, you're looking at an industry that already has very low margins, and be able to provide them with a service that allows them to grow their business while also growing your business in low margin businesses, that's a challenge. And it takes a lot of creative thinking about how do we best create those win-win opportunities where everybody is getting a slice of the pie, but maybe nobody is really taking home the whole thing. I think the biggest challenges that BLine facing right now are not unique in terms of a company that's 10 years old. We have a certain level of business acumen, and our business models have been proven are continuing to grow, but now we have the other question of where and how do we want to scale? So how big do we want to be, and how fast do we want to get there? Of course, with those growth questions comes the elements of capital and raising capital and what is our value proposition at a next level. Providing that value proposition for scalability at a certain rate while also maintaining B Corporation fundamental missions and our commitment to sustainability and our commitment to utilizing tricycles and to helping serve the regional food economy. These are all very challenging questions in and of themselves, even at our stage of our current company, and we want to grow to be 5 or 10 times as large in many different, and have many different locations throughout the U.S. How do we appropriately do that with the right amount of capital at the right level of scale? So those are our biggest challenges that we're working on right now.